Hi guys, Brittany here, back again. What has it been like? At least like a couple weeks. I was pretty good the first few videos of, being every week or every other week or so, but it's been a little while. I've had a quite busy life the past few weeks. Um, some, good news on my horizon. I actually got a new job. Which will, I think, help in more than one way. The past few weeks, I've been splitting my time with basically two jobs, like going to my normal job and in the mornings shadowing and getting experience at the new place. But good thing is, new place does a lot of learning, a lot of teaching. Really excited to get started. I started about a week, and that should also help my stress level. This new job, so less toll on the body. I mean, we all know how stress can affect you and even like cause flares and stuff. But I wanted to do this video because I follow a few Facebook groups of some just general like autoimmune disease, one I follow specifically for Behçet's. And actually more than one point in the last week, people have brought up like any advice and help with sex with Behçet's, because we get vaginal symptoms that suck, and it can make it hard and traumatizing, or can cause flares. So that's kind of what I want to talk about. So just fair warning, this is going to get detailed. So anyone who does not want to hear this, turn it off now. But one of the questions that came up on the site was someone who said, she was, trying to have sex, and, what do you do to not get a flare? Because a lot of people, with increased trauma down there can cause ulcers that get very painful, can last for weeks, they even scar. So even if, say, you don't have an outbreak, you can imagine maybe having a little bit of PTSD, like if every time you have sex, you get really terrible pain and outbreak, you're not going to want sex anymore, right? But the one thing that I just wanted to talk a little bit about is kind of, things that I've learned throughout my years, even before I had Behçet's, and things that have helped, because I've been there. I mean, yeah, sometimes I'm really nervous to have sex because what if an outbreak happens? Of course, but you can't let that stop you. Or, there are ways to at least help. Oh, sorry, an alert popped up on my phone. I've got to be into work early tomorrow. Yeah, who else is feeling this, like, change of daylight savings? Like, today is just, I've been feeling off all day. And I've even tried to stop drinking coffee, and I even have a cup of coffee, so yeah, into the question, about, like, how you can have sex and not cause an outbreak, or even if you're in the middle of an outbreak and you want it, My first thing is, when someone posts, like, this is traumatizing, I can't have sex, it hurts. Well, my first thing is, what are you considering sex? Are you only considering that, like, hetero penis in vagina sex? Like, yeah, that hurts. So, at least for me, I mean, it's very common to get ulcers, at least for females. I know males, it's like on the scrotum and stuff like that. But for me, it's, usually around the vulva, little area, like the external. I usually get it like on my labia. So yeah, that hurts if you are trying to do insertables, or, if it's a person with a penis and vagina, or any kind of insertable toy. Yeah, so that would rub against it and that would hurt. But for me, mine tend to not be anywhere near my clitoris. So I don't know about other people with vaginas out there, because you can have men with vaginas, you can have women with vaginas, you can have non-binary people with vaginas. So for people out there with vaginas, I don't know, what area, say, if you're a fellow Behçet's listener, where you get yours. I tend to be on my clitoris, near my labia, is not near my clitoris, so I can still do clitoral stimulation. And I don't know how many people out there, the way they achieve climax. I know the majority of women actually out there need clitoral stimulation and don't have internal orgasms. Like everyone you thought when you were younger, that's a lie. you do have some women who do climax through like G-spot stimulation alone, but that is very, very rare. So yeah, I can achieve climax through clitoral stimulation, so that's great for me. Yeah, so there are plenty of other things you can do. I mean, depending on also where other areas you have ulcers, because like sometimes it's like, oh, people say, oh, you know, you can just have oral and, you know, anal sex. Well, no, I've had a point where I've had outbreaks at the same time up my nose, in my mouth, on my vagina, and on my anus. I mean, not in a while. Usually it's not all 4 places. But yeah, so like really any place hurts. But say you don't have outbreaks in all those places. Yeah, there's so much more you can do. Like with oral, clitoral stimulation, mutual masturbation. You don't have to have like penis and vagina sex all day long. Like that would hurt even if you didn't have bichettes. Like if that's the only sex you were having. I mean, not knocking those who work for them, but that's just not me. I'm just like, I need some switch up. So alongside, so I'm not getting paid to say this. The company is not giving me any money. They don't even know I'm making this video. But I even found this lovely toy that I'm gonna suggest to everyone out there before I even had bichettes. So, you know, even if you don't have it, I still would suggest it. But for me, because like clitoral stimulation is, especially during an outbreak or to like avoid that repetitive trauma with insertables, is getting a specific to clitoral stimulation toy. So you hear out there like one of the gold standards for clitoral stimulator toys is called the Womanizer. So that's like, I mean, it's supposed to be fantastic, but it's like $200. Like, I don't know about you, but like, I don't have $200 to spend on a toy like that. But this is called the Satisfyer. Now, this is the 2nd generation. I don't know if they're on a 3rd or not. I don't know, because I just bought this one like a few years ago, and it's been great ever since. So this is a quarter of the price. I believe this is $49.99 directly from the Satisfyer site. So this is the 2nd generation. First one was not waterproof. This one I suggest because it is waterproof. You take it in the bath, take it in the shower, wherever you want to. What's great about this is it goes right around the clitoris, and it works through suction cup. So actually it's even different than a regular vibrator where you can actually go numb. This like suctions, so it sits right on, so there's no chance of you going numb. So yeah, so any of you who have like vaginal symptoms in general, maybe you suffer with like dryness from other disorders like Sjogren's and a lot of other things that can lead to dryness, or even those out there who might have like HSV, you know, during an outbreak, you know, if it stings, or I don't know where you get them, but this is great. Also important, keeping with the lube. So of course, like some people, you want insertables, like, yeah, if you're gonna do it, lots and lots and lots of lube. But this is what I suggest for, yeah, if you have problems downstairs or not have problems, it's also great. Yeah, so there's lots of different stuff you can do, you know, erotic massages, like I said, mutual masturbation. Like there's so many ways you can have fun. That's not just like PIV, because like when I'm thinking back, and it is really sad because I think a lot of people do believe that that's what sex is. I mean, you have the right to believe what you believe, but man, if I only think back to when I was doing that, and like I'm trying to think like my early college years, like freshman year of college with the guy that I was seeing. That was terrible sex. So yeah, so that's for like if things sting downstairs. Another way that like I've struggled, and I'm sure lots of people from other diseases, like nausea is a common thing. You can get, you know, GI issues with IBS, Crohn's, colitis, many medication side effects from not just the medication I'm on, but I'm sure lots of others out there. So that's another thing that can be really difficult, like if you're in a bout of nausea and you don't want like compression on the stomach. What has, you know, worked for me, and hopefully you have partners who, you know, understand and will work with you, who are like, okay, great, this is what's gonna make you comfortable, let's do it. You know, I do a lot, you know, on my back, really helps without the person like directly on top of me. They can either be like below, like using fingers, a toy. They don't have to be like pounding on top of you. Another one of like my favorite positions is like actually on all fours, like a quadruped position. Sorry, my PT brain coming out. Like on hands and knees. That way you have that space. You're not like directly on the bed or like the mattress or anything, and they can do whatever they need to with you. That has worked for me. But of course there are times where you just don't want it, and that's okay too. If you are nauseous or things hurt, like, nah, just get away. Part of, being sex positive isn't just like positive about sex, but positive about your right to not have the sex, right? And anyone who would pressure you otherwise, like, just kick them to the curb. I mean, usually I'm pretty like forgiving with things and don't get angry at a lot of things, but man, especially when it comes to health issues, if someone's pressuring you like, oh, God, honey, it's been like, 2 weeks or a month since we've had sex. If someone's pressuring you in that way, I'd say they're not even worth your time. And there are other ways, even if you can't have sex to be intimate, if you don't feel well, like, your partner, I think, should step up and say, well, can I rub your back? Can I rub your head if that's what's gonna make you feel good right now? Just to get relaxed, because, I mean, granted, not having to upgrade it to sex, like, you deserve to get that massage without someone pressuring you to then it lead to sex. But I think a lot of times that even helps with anxiety around the sex, actually. And that's me too, like, I can't just go straight to, like, let's go. It's like, no, you have to get me in the mood. And sometimes even a nice, back rub, massage, like head scratches or something can reassure you that, like, okay, this touch is good touch. This touch does not hurt. This is good. And, kind of relax the brain and, like, okay, maybe I can have other touches that also feel good and don't hurt. So it's not just the physical barriers. I think a lot is the mental barriers too. And these are just some things that's worked for me. Doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. I really hope it does. I hope some people maybe learn some things from this video. Oh, one other thing that I wanted to mention that I put on my bed just to say, I mean, it doesn't have to really do with sex in general, but for like downstairs business like Aquaphor, this is also really great stuff. It doesn't like cure anything, but it's good for any kind of skin lesions, pain, in the downstairs region. Yeah, I would suggest even like after sex, well, after sex you want to wipe down the area, not with like a bunch of soap or anything, but just the external to get any bacteria away. I mean, like most people know, or if you don't know, your vagina is self-cleaning. You don't need to like, shove it up with a bunch of like soap and nasty shit. Just kind of wiping down the exterior so that bacteria doesn't then enter. But this is really great for when things sting and after sex and stuff, just to make sure everything feels nice. But yeah, that I have loved, along with just a reminder that toy is called the Satisfyer Pro 2. Okay, I'm just putting that out there. I should get paid for this. I should get some proceeds if you all go buy this now. And hope it's still what I say it costs. Like, I bought it probably a year and a half or two, no, actually probably 2 years ago, and I think it was like $49.99, so yeah, I would suggest it. Well, thanks for listening out there. Hopefully I'll be able to put another video out soon. Hope you at least learned something about this. Or maybe have a better understanding, even if you're not the one who's sick, but have a partner who is, like, maybe you understand it a little bit better now. But yeah, so until next time, all you badass warriors, stay awesome.